The darkness growing on me on XFM 104.9. Oh, it's all going well already, isn't it? The microphones fell apart. Carl's shouting because he got headphones on.
His music's turned up too loud.
Canfield level. God, it got pre-out. Look at him giggling. Look at him. Look at him laughing. That's so funny because I got a letter here from who was it from? Mike Heel, who sent me a little picture of a little Japanese fella from a film who said looks like me, and he does a little bit. But he says, please can you make Carl laugh? I've never heard him utter as much as a snigger, and I'm worried he may have a genetic disorder. Well, I mean, he has got a genetic disorder, obviously. But, he was giggling then. I hope, people heard you then. Look at his little face.
It was a joy.
Oh, I love the things that make him happy.
But I love the fact just before the microphone came up and just before the record finished, he had his headphones on, the music was too loud and he was just shouting, Bauhaus, it's not working! Bauhaus, it's not working! I have to play something else!
I went and found Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus and he said, why isn't it working? Look at him giggling, look, he's lost it! Is it because he's going away? Are you on drugs, Carl? What have you done? He's tickled, look at his little, he looks like one of those shaved monkeys. Look at his little, oh my god, I've never seen a forehead glow.
I know, it's extraordinary.
Oh.
And he's got that red shirt on as well, so the whole of him is just a big glowing...
Carl, what are you trying? What are you putting in?
I'm gonna see if I can get this to work.
Go on then.
Hang on.
Brilliant radio. I hope Dr. Fox is listening, because I think he's eating his words right now, Steve.
Right, I think I've done it.
Well done. That's excellent.
Right, what
let's play Bauhaus now, and let's try and compose ourselves. This is Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus. That worked, didn't it? See, panic over, calm now. You're on holiday soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got to go off early.
Well, about... How
many holidays have you had? Because I only ever have time off when I'm working, like doing another job, like, you know, filming or something. But you seem to have a lot of holidays, just like... And you were sick as well. You were just like... Because you had wet trousers, which is a little bit... Do you not care about the job? I mean, I've got to ask, because... You know what I mean? If I was in charge, I'd worry about your motivation or... Because yesterday we were trying to work out what you enjoyed doing, and we got to Manchester United and moaning, and that is the two we came up with.
I don't know where you get the moaning thing from.
You're always whinging.
About what?
Everything.
When did I last have a moan?
Just before we came on air.
Right, and why was that?
I don't know, I can't remember. Because we were in good mood. We were in a good mood, me and Rick.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because you brought a song in at 10 to 1.
Yeah.
With a load of effing and jeffing in it.
Yeah.
And saying, can you edit this?
Yeah. But that's your job.
You could have brought it in yesterday.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I hadn't thought of it. But why are you whinging? That's your job. And I didn't come in 10 minutes before. It was a good 20 minutes before. It just took you ages because you were whinging and moaning to even get started.
I'm not being dragged into this.
You are always...
I'm on my holiday now.
Well, not yet. No, you're not on yet. You're still working.
Well, that's what's funny. This isn't even work, right? And yet it should be. Compared to what I do in the week, this is a doddle.
Well, it's because you're not putting any effort in, clearly. Where are you going anyway? Where are you heading?
Cornwall.
Yeah? What's happening down there?
Well, there's a monkey world.
You're excited about that?
We're going to see that. Probably go twice to that.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm down there.
How long you went for? The whole week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
this is with your parents, isn't it?
Yeah. Taking them out.
Your father, what do you think your father will be up to? What's he going to be nicking on this holiday?
Well,
There's a lot of tin in Cornwall. Since they've shut the mines.
He's just called Suzanne, said they've got there, said it's a nice little place.
There'll be no towels when you get there.
So what are you going to do? Just going to chill out and sort of like go to the pub and stuff?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, all I've got planned is probably probably Tuesday and Thursday at Monkey World.
What about Wednesday? What are you thinking of Wednesday? Just wandering around?
Just sort of think about, you know...
King Arthur and that. Where he was down there, wasn't he?
I don't know, but I'll tell you something.
Going? What town?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Susan sorted it out.
Yeah, she's sorted it out. I joined the phone to her saying, well, pack 2 pairs. Poor woman. She's packing your bags for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
you'd spend more time at home if Steve didn't come in at 10-2 with a rap record with, like, obscenities all over it.
Yeah, well, we'll play that next week.
Well, you didn't even get the job done, that's the thing. We can't even play it because you didn't get finishing time.
I'll tell you what, that Method Man, if he doesn't stop effing and jeffing, it's the end of his career. In my opinion. All this F that and yo Jeff, I'm a Jeff myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging out with my Jeffs.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Jeff,
and we know you can't put out the J word on XFM.
Oh, Mother Jeffer.
Well, so we haven't got that, but what we have got...
Go on.
Monkey News.
We've still got a Monkey News, have we?
That's sorted out. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Yeah. Well, last chance. Definitely your last chance this time. You actually improved a little bit last week. You did a couple of good ones.
Yeah. Same again this week. And,
Cheeky Freak?
Controversial Cheeky Freak of the Week, where Karl finds a human being with some sort of congenital or imposed deformity, or So and we talk about that in a wry way. Do you think that's big and clever?
no, but that's just it. It's never about taking the mickey out of someone, right? It's to make you think.
I'll tell you what isn't big and clever.
How lucky you are.
A dwarf with learning difficulties.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
We'll explain it to you. That's the forthcoming single from British Sea Power. That's called Carrion.
That's nice and retro. That's like end of the 70s Bowie. That's great. On XFM 104.9. That's just some of the records
that we've played so far.
Do you know what I mean? You've had The Darkness, you've had Bauhaus. It's like, can it get any better, Karl, do you think?
like I say, we've got Monkey News coming up. So,
guess what? I lost 400 quid cash this week.
Gambling?
No, that's tragic. This is why it gutted me.
It wasn't even on your gambling addiction.
No, I had a photo shoot, I had a suit, right, and I'd claimed back some expenses, and I'd had it in my pocket. And then when I took the suit home, it must have fallen out in the street or the cab. And I remembered it, and I went every pocket twice. And it was just the fact, I don't think about, oh God, that's terrible, that's a terrible blow. I think, oh God, if I had it back now, it would be free money.
Yeah.
If I suddenly found it now, I'd have £400 that was just free money. And I had a little nap to get over it, and I was...
and you were fine.
I was okay. But that was good. Someone just found, what a gift that is.
Oh.
Just, I mean, untraceable.
Was it in a money clip? Was it rolled in a money clip?
No, it was just literally 400 quid in an envelope.
Oh,
and
that's
so
a
that,
treat.
I know, see, I'd always hand it in. I genuinely would. Unless I found it in the middle of a forest or something. If it was in a street. Do you know what I mean, though?
Because a bear dropped it.
Yeah. But, I mean, if I found it in a pub or a cab, I'd just hand it to anyone who was
rushing through.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But I'd hand it in. But there's no way, if they found it in the street, there's no way they could do it. It goes to the police station and it sits there for 6 months, but...
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a waste of time, pocket it. But, because when I was younger, I remember being outside the post office once when I was about 10 or 12 and finding a purse and thinking, oh, that's nice. And opening it up, there was some money in there and a pension book, and so it was obviously an old lady. I found an address, I sent it to her, and my mum said, you've been so good there, you'll probably get a little reward. She'll probably send you a little reward. Nothing. I got maybe a thank you note, but no cash, no moolah, nothing.
Really?
And I was livid, because I'd been told that I was going to get a reward. I thought I've been a good Samaritan, nothing. So... many moons later, when I was at university, I learnt from that, and this is the most bizarre thing.
This explains a lot, doesn't it, Karl?
This is like the Mary Celeste. I went to a cash point to I thought, I can't get the card in here, and I realised there was already somebody's card in the machine. They put the code in, but then they just disappeared. They'd been kidnapped or something, so it was just there, waiting, sitting. It said, what do you want to do? And it gave you a number of options. I thought, interesting.
Steal or go to heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
You went, oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I pressed balance just to check what their bank balance was.
Unbelievable.
It was a considerable sum of money. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not typical student debt. It was like, I think they were a foreign student. There was a lot of cash in there. A lot of money.
Did you feel a slight bulge in your trousers when you saw the amount of money?
I couldn't believe my luck. I thought to myself, now then, I could just take that card out and hand it in, or I could teach them a small lesson.
Right.
And maybe give myself a reward, because last time I did that, I didn't get a reward. So if I give myself £30, then I'll take the card out.
30?
Give myself 30.
Yeah. You didn't really?
Well, I thought that's a good reward. And I went in, I handed the card in, I took that.
Steve,
and that's a little reward for me. And I'll tell you this, don't think it's evil, because I went in and I bought everyone a drink.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't tell them I got the money free.
Well done. Excellent. So probably gangsters are quite generous with the money they've stolen from other people.
Yes, but someone's negligence, Rick, has lent... the thing is this,
Steve,
right?
I believe it, except they're buying people a drink, Karl. What do you think?
well, I kind of thought that when he said it, but then I thought, but they'll be buying him back.
So he's still...
So in a way, he's still a winner.
Yeah. Everyone's a winner. in that situation, including the student, because frankly, if there had been a less scrupulous person who found it, they'd have probably helped themselves to a considerable sum.
I cannot believe he did that.
There was thousands and thousands of pounds in there.
What if Beadle had jumped out and slapped you with his little claw and said, we've been filming this, merchant?
Well, so what?
How old were you then?
I don't know, 19, 20?
Would you do it again, or was it just to get the world back for the old lady's purse?
Possibly do it again, yeah.
You're joking!
Well, you've got to think of it this way. You've got to think of it as there was a lot of money in there, and someone less scrupulous than me would have taken a fortune. They'd have cleaned them out. Whereas I just took a small reward, which I thought was more than enough for someone's negligence. And I've returned the card. They've got the card back. Everything's fine. Think of someone else. I could have gone on a spending spree. I could have been buying stuff, all sorts.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours at all.
Yes, but they probably would have given me a reward. And because, you know, sometimes people forget or, you know, they don't give you a reward, I thought I should take it myself.
You had to go at your dad for nicking a loaf of bread out of a phone box.
Yeah, but that's because it's for old people, geriatrics and stuff.
How do you know how old was your people who you were robbing from?
It was on a student campus.
Well.
Wow.
I think it was I thought it was excellent behaviour. I thought it was
that's
good, honourable behaviour.
That's showing another side to him, isn't it?
What would you have done, Karl, in that situation? And tell the truth.
I might have helped myself a little bit.
There you are.
I don't know what this is helping yourself a bit.
Like you say, just sort of, you know, send them back and sort of say, you know...
If you find a £1 coin in the street and you can be bothered to bend over for it, then have it. But someone's cash point card or personal belongings...
I'd let them know, though. Did you send it to them and say, I've service charge included. I've took that out already.
No, I handed it in to the...
Let them know? What do you mean you'd let them know?
I'd say, you know, you're lucky here. Right, I just took, I'd probably said 20, actually.
Okay.
Because that's just like one note.
Sorry, right, okay. You are winding me up.
No, I'm not. I mean, not for once. I mean, I know what Steve's like. He is tight, right? He is. And you know that, don't you, Steve?
Financially, you mean?
Well, no, I mean, just the way you are. You're very sort of, you know, you're not wasteful with your money.
I'm careful. No, I'm not wasteful. Absolutely right.
No, but to the extreme.
Not towards the extreme. Not towards the extreme.
No.
Look after the pennies, the pounds will take care of themselves. Alright? Simple to remember, good advice.
Yeah,
alright?
But the thing is, right, I know that I take the mickey out of you for, like, you know, the way you look and stuff.
Sure.
Right?
Well, I'm right back at you.
But the thing is, you can't help that.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you something that women don't like.
Sure.
And it's fellas who are tight with the money.
Sure. I'm not frugal with money with ladies. I'm frugal with money with you.
Well,
I've got no reason to splash money out on you.
I've never seen you splash money out.
Well, you've never been out with me.
Steve, have you ever splashed out on a lady?
No, but I hope to one day. The right lady.
Play a record. Blur. Out of Time on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Talking of money, Steve. Look at this, right? It's in the paper. A wife has had her beauty insured for £100,000 in case she grows ugly and her husband walks out. Nicole Jones, 26, of Chipping Sodbury, Gloucestershire, says £200 a year, pays £200 a year for a policy. She arranged it as a present for her husband Richard. Her beauty will be judged by a panel of builders. So,
have they been selected beforehand, do you think? Do the insurance company know who they are? I assume they're complete strangers.
So suppose, like, in 30 years' time, he looks at her and goes, oh, you've lost your looks. She goes, well, have I?
Yeah.
He goes, well, yeah. Well, have I? They're calling the panel. Somebody else going, yeah. All right, get him out for that. Well, never mind that. It's yeah, she's lost it. Right, well, 100 grand. Well, 100 grand coming your way.
They stand on some scaffolding.
Yeah.
She walks by.
Yeah.
And if they will whistle.
That is amazing.
Do you think they give her a quote first?
Yeah, what if they say, actually, love, you've got nothing to lose. You're not oil painting anyway.
Yeah, we can't come round and judge your beauty for at least a week.
That is just open to abuse, isn't it? £100,000. Because I remember, in Japan, they're mad on golf, right? And if you get a hole in one, you buy everyone, you throw a party. And it was costing them like thousands and thousands of pounds. So they were insuring themselves against getting a hole in one. And so miraculously, everyone was going, I got a hole in one. Did he? Yep.
Yeah.
Paying out insurance. I mean, they could be in that together, couldn't they? They're not. I'm sure they're not. They're probably more honest than you two that would take 20 quid out of a cash point. But, you know...
No, 30.
30, yeah, 30. I like the wording, though. A wife.
Yeah, a wife. The word wife.
The word wife.
I don't know why I just find it's just an odd word. This is my wife.
Hello, the wife.
Yeah, the wife.
My wife.
It just seems a word that you have to say if you're 60. You can
Yeah,
go,
I know.
Have you met the wife?
And even then, ironically, unless someone, you don't know exactly, are you married? Yeah, my wife is from, you know what I mean?
That makes sense, but it's the wife.
People go, oh, better get back, I'm meeting the wife for dinner. But especially when you know them.
I remember bumping into friends of mine, somewhere at a party, a couple that I knew, and I'd known both of them before they got married. In fact, I'd known her, I think, longer. And I said, where's so-and-so? And he went, the wife will be along in a minute. And it's just this notion that, use her name.
I know she is.
I know her name. I used to call her by that. Why?
It's like someone going, you know I'm married. You know I'm married.
It's like showing
in the
off.
eyes of God, we are wed.
Exactly.
Yes, that makes me more of an adult than you.
It's the ownership. Yeah, it's like going, I'm a real man. I've got a wife, and here she is. She's my wife.
I find there's the words that I find hard to say. In a shop, I could never ask for wet ones. Do you know what I mean? If I have to go and ask for wet ones, I won't bother. Or toilet duck. Another one I have a problem with, I never say, Snickers.
Why?
Don't know. I think it's I grew up with Marathon.
Yeah. See, this is so pathetic, I still get embarrassed buying, toilet paper.
Really?
You know, if you go into like your 24-hour shop just around the corner, not a supermarket, big shop, but if you just go in there and you're just maybe buying some milk.
Yeah.
A chocolate bar. Because it's like they know what you're up to. No, but they know you're going to use it to, when you're going to the lavatory at some point. It's too intimate.
But you just go, I know what you're thinking, I'll be using this after masturbation. Thus saving all embarrassment.
It goes in the porn bag I just bought.
Elvis Costello, Alison, from way back on XFM 104.9, a retro cut.
Indeed.
Wow. Up to the modern day. The newest game show around, Rockbusters.
Isn't there a jingle?
It'd probably be something like, Rockbusters. It would be very, along those lines. I've got to work it out, but I mean, let's go with that for now, and then we'll be ready next week.
Excellent. The prizes, once again, sourced by Karl Pilkington. I think it's been in the prize bag before, Karl, but good to see it back. The best air guitar album in the world ever.
Do they keep sending it back? Is that just fun? It comes through the window, tied to a brick.
Actually, there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's, the Kinks.
Knopfler? Is there Knopfler?
Knopfler, I believe, is on there.
Is Clapton anywhere to be seen?
Definitely Clapton, I would have thought, a Deep Purple. We got Quo, Skinnerd, Mac, Snake is there, Straits, excellent, and, there's all sorts on there, obviously.
Yeah.
This is always an odd choice, but fair enough. This is the, current album by the Yardbirds. Their first studio album in 35 years. So, the new music station XFM giving away that. Excellent. I suppose it's new music in some ways. A Smash Hits compilation. We got stuff on there. It's Aha, it's Curiosity Killed the Cat, it's all the old favourites. Plus 2 DVDs. Columbo.
What Columbo?
It's got a couple of classic Columbo episodes there. Suitable for framing.
One of the best, TV programs of all time.
Why do I get... You can always tell immediately who the villains are. Suitable for framing. I'm assuming that's some kind of art dealer. Maybe an artist. Candidate for crime. Presumably some kind of presidential or political candidate. That'd be good, I'm sure. Columbo. I mean...
Stab Woman. That was my favourite episode. Stab Lady Wife.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure why... Who would buy a Columbo DVD? Like, you can't find it on TV.
It's on now. It's on now. I guarantee, because someone could maybe email in, is there an episode of Columbo on now anywhere that got cable or digital? I think it will be.
Almost certainly.
But it is great.
And the other DVD here is Cruise of the Gods, which was the one-off TV kind of comedy film that was on at Christmas, featuring Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan. It's good.
Williams.
So, there's a few gifts there. Not bad.
Right, now we get to the real deal. Okay, this is what everyone tunes in for. This is Monkey News, I think. Not the music. Go on.
Well, here we go then.
Yeah.
3 cryptic clues and just work it out.
Cryptic, but
easy as that. Email in.
It's email in.
Right.
Well, what's the email address?
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Well, don't say that I know it or care.
I think. So the first one, he's got American coins all down his spine. Right? He's got American coins all down his spine. What band's that? What artist is it? Email in.
What does it begin with?
What? N.
I know it, I've got it already.
Right.
That's rubbish, too easy. Yeah,
Right,
go on
second
next.
one. Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis. Right, Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis.
Yeah.
That's the second clue. The initials there, SLF. Right, SLF. Jeremy Beadle's got a little bit of arthritis. And the third one, Foxy, Shipman, and a country western singer on a merry-go-round. SB, right? So Foxy, Shipman, and some country western singer having a go on a merry-go-round. The initial SD, right? So email in, Ricky.Gervais.
I'm intrigued with that one. I'm genuinely intrigued with that one.
I like the fact there's a certain whiff of controversy about it, because Shipman is mentioned.
I know, yeah. Oh,
A little bit edgy, that.
So that's the three.
He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he, as well, Shipman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mum's mum used to use him.
Okay, let's play a record.
Well, you want to play a record or play some adverts? Do you fancy some ads?
Oh, I'd rather adverts,
Well,
yeah.
I've got some for you.
Placebo, this picture on XFM 104.9. Steve,
Yes.
I think Carl's going to put most people to shame. We were talking about generosity earlier. Carl is a nice, generous bloke when it really comes to it. He's paying for Father's Day. He's paying for the cottage that he's going away with his dad.
Are you really, Carl?
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's no way of us proving if that's true or not.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, you could be lying.
But why would I do that?
Well, because you want to show off.
I didn't do it on air, you mentioned it. I don't want people to know how generous I am. Just do it, just get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like charity work and that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'd have thought that you wouldn't have fallen for Father's Day. I'd have thought you'd have known that it was like...
Well, we don't. I mean, to be honest, there's a bit of a coincidence, because I paid for it anyway, and it's happened to fall on Father's Day. Right?
But don't
I mean,
buy a
that's
card.
not normally that bothered.
Don't fall for it. I mean, obviously that and Mother's Day and a plethora of other things were, I mean, literally invented by card companies to make more money.
I know.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, my dad always says don't get him a card or anything. Because he hates it. With all these things that I'd like, rip-off times, really, just ripping people off.
Yeah.
So it sounds a bit stingy, that. But fair enough.
Well, no, I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. It's just, because fellas aren't bothered about getting cards anyway, are they? But the other thing that he noticed, helping out the flower companies, the Princess Diana thing, when she...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No. Jesus. Carl.
So when...
Carl, what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's what he said. He said, "Oh,
I nearly swore then because I was. You surprise me all the time.
No, I'm
but
just,
that is incredible.
Sorry, what? I don't understand. What are you talking
all
about?
the flowers that were sort of sold that day.
Right. Or for
Right.
people to leave as a commemoration or
Yeah,
something?
they made a mint, didn't they?
Who did?
Flower companies.
Right. So what are you saying?
He was just saying, makes you wonder.
What whether
About what?
it was Interflora behind the hit?
Oh.
So it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy by the flower
I
companies.
would love to see you and your dad just sitting at home watching a bit of Channel 5 when apes go mental, right? With your roast dinner.
When's that on?
And then talk like, well, yeah, you know, kill Diana, don't you? Flower company's son. Right, quite right, Dad, you're not wrong. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's like you were saying about the cards. On Father's Day and that. It's just a bit
too much
a
of a
bit weird.
coincidence. Too much of a coincidence.
I'd be interested to see sort of like the business graph
Sure.
on how the companies were doing. Then suddenly,
Yeah. Yeah. But then by the same token, Elton John, he had the biggest selling hit record, didn't he, off the back of that? I mean, so is he incriminated as well?
if you want, I mean,
It's a conspiracy theory you've not kind of analysed terribly closely. You've put it out there, and if people maybe who are investigating want to kind of add that into their inquiries, then they can.
yeah.
Sure.
But no, that's all I'm saying. I'm just because it's always the same thing, isn't it? Like I was out shopping the other day, treating Suzanne like I do. You know, I like spending money in that.
Yeah.
I was in WH Smith's.
Yeah. Classy. Was it a big birthday? Was it? Was it a 30th?
No, I was getting a.
Was it 2 biros for the price of 1?
I was getting a card for my dad for Father's Day anyway, because I'm seeing him.
Yeah.
Big Toblerone.
Yeah.
There was a giant
who is it who said Father's Day? They love a Toblerone.
I've never understood Toblerone because the only time I see Toblerone is in airports, right, and minibars. That is what the small Toblerone is for the minibar in a hotel, 3-star upwards, and the big Toblerone.
Well, the big Toblerone is a gift, isn't it? It can only be a gift. You wouldn't buy a big Toblerone for yourself.
Yeah, a duty-free gift. The Toblerone. It's next to Chanel No. 5 Toblerone and a bear.
But who specifically would you be buying that Toblerone for?
I don't know.
Someone who's clearly never had it before and would think it was interesting novelty.
Yeah.
Well, this gift's interesting.
I'll tell you what, though, Toblerone is brilliant. I mean, if whoever makes that, if they want to send sort of, some Toblerones, I will eat Toblerone.
Well, yeah. I think very much the same about, I think very much the same about fags.
And of course,
just cigarettes. If you've got any boxes of cigarettes that you don't want, duty free or whatever, send them.
I'd just like to say that, in no way do I endorse Carl's dad's theory that flower companies were behind the death of Diana.
No.
Maybe I could say that on air as well, just to save any complaints.
I'll tell you what though, talking about fag packets and that, do you know, like now, they've got, if you have these, they'll do you in, sort of thing, on the front now. They've got these special stickers on them.
Yeah.
I saw a thing in a magazine the other day. In Brazil, it's got, like, pictures of ill people on them.
Blimey, that is
It's gone really, hardcore over there.
That's good, isn't it?
But, I mean, to be fair, what more can they do? I mean, there are fag packets now that say these will kill you, and people are still smoking them. I mean, I don't know what they could, I don't think the message is getting through.
You could ban them altogether, I suppose. If it seems weird to, sort of like, you might as well sell guns and go, careful, you can kill people with these. Well, ban them then. I'll just be careful. Let's you have your eye out with that. This is poison. These are really, really mental poison drugs.
You know those people with you ever see them in the street, they're selling fags duty free, obviously. They're just selling them on the street. Have you ever seen these guys? I walk up and down Finchley Road Lock because I'm just near my place. And, all these people, they're sort of looking a bit shifty and then they think that you're maybe a smoker. They just, fags, and they'll open their jacket and it literally will be like something from, the 1940s.
They won't go for you though, do they?
Yeah, smoking. It stuns your growth. They know you must have never had a fag in your life.
But, I might be buying them as a gift or something because I'm quite a generous guy. But it struck me, I was chatting with my friend about, there seems to be, there are certain people who are very, maybe they have trouble getting work, or maybe they, they're immigrants who've not landed on their feet and they've had trouble, and so there's a couple of jobs they can do. It seems to be there's the fag selling. There's those people I noticed on Oxford Street who bend a piece of wire into the shape of your name. I mean, what kind of a gift is that, really? You know what I mean?
I know.
It's like they're literally giving them out. Or you can have the bending the name. You can be selling those things that you throw at the wall and they sliver down.
At Dover.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm a trained carpenter.
Right. Can you write really small on a piece of rice?
I could try.
Could you write those names on a piece of rice?
I could try.
It's quite tricky, but
what about the rest of your family? Well, that one's only 2, but he could be trained. He's got smaller fingers.
Okay. Do you want to sell some knocked-off perfume? How about that?
Again, we'd like to apologise for any inadvertent racism, suggestion that Lady Diana was killed by flower companies, or that Steve makes a habit of stealing from cash points.
What about
XFM 104.9.
a picture of Rick Waller on the front of a bargain bucket?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, universally speaking, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant, and, of course, Karl Pilkington. Now, people come up to me, and they say, is Karl for real? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, they want to say, is he that stupid? And the answer is yes, right? Some people think that he's putting on. Some people think that he's a character that we've invented, like we've got an actor in, like he's a Gareth Keenan or a Tim or something. And I go,
that we've scripted.
Exactly, yeah. No, he's absolutely real, aren't you, Karl? I go, where did he come from? Well, just to tell the story, we came here and I was much too important to run the desk myself this time round, so they just gave us a tea boy.
Steve came in with you, I remember that.
yeah. Why do you remember that?
Well, Steve knows. I don't want to keep going over it, but it's just the way he looks. It's just.
Were you taken aback?
A little bit.
Yeah. Right. And he's just developed into my favourite thing. I also said that you get bored with, like, you know, battling tops or, you know, pets sometimes. I mean, I love my cat, but he's not as, you know,
Colin.
my cat. Yeah.
Colin.
Actually, Carl's away next week. Is he available to run the day?
Well, he's actually not as intelligent as Carl, and that's the truth. He's not, you know.
Well,
he's
marginally.
Yeah, but and then in the week, he's like one of those little Tamagotchi toys, Carl, because I have to phone him every day and keep his interest up.
Yeah.
Like I'd give him an interesting fact. And I got a book out and I found out I'd call Carl like that. And I thought this was a great fact, right? A 2-day-old gazelle can run faster than a racehorse. Right? I thought that was incredible.
Sure.
Okay. So I phoned him up, I said, a 2-day-old gazelle can run faster than a racehorse. He went, what does it do after that? I went, what? He said, well, how fast can it run when it's adult? I went, well, even faster. He went, oh, I thought we could just do it then, but then it sort of lost it. I went, what are you talking about? I went, you know, that's incredible. A 2-day-old gazelle can run He went, well, no, that's what they do. I went, what? He went, that's what they do, isn't it? I went, what do you mean? It's 2 days old. Right? He went, yeah, but a 1-day-old fly can fly. I'm 30 and I can't fly. It's not what I do. Right? And I went, right. He went, a jellyfish can hold its breath underwater for hours. I went, it doesn't hold its breath, does it? It hasn't got lungs. So he went, what? I know I had him. He went, what do you mean? I said, well, they don't breathe, do they? He went, what do they do? I went, well, they get oxygen directly from the water via osmosis straight into their cells. And it just went quiet. And I went, a 2-day-old gazelle? And he went, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
He was just thinking about the jellyfish.
Yeah. I know.
He was looking up osmosis, and then he was thinking about the jellyfish.
But I just think, I mean, if Bambi's anything to go by, this little gazelle spends a whole day trying to stand, and the next day it enters the derby. And you don't think that's incredible?
Yeah. See, you know the sort of things I find incredible.
Go on.
Mirrors. Shiny objects.
Kettles. Yeah. Oh, God.
Well, listen, remember the time when I told you about the baby that had a baby?
The baby that had a baby.
The baby that had a baby?
Yeah.
It's happened again.
No, it hasn't.
Well, it didn't happen the first time.
It was in the papers, I think, on Monday, in all the tabloids.
So it's a twin where one has grown and the other one is still at a fetal level.
No, it wasn't, though. It had grown. He was saying to his mum...
who was saying to his mum?
The little kid who was 7 years old. And he kept saying... Yeah. He was pregnant.
And he was pregnant?
Yeah. I know.
What do you mean?
And he was saying to his mum, oh, God, I don't feel well. And, like, his belly was all swollen, and they thought he'd just been eating cake or whatever. And he was saying, I can feel something moving about, and they were like, stop messing about, there's nothing wrong with you. Eventually, I think he was in gym at school.
In gym? What, Jim was pregnant with him? Oh, no, it was like a Russian doll.
He was at school, right, just about to do sit-ups or whatever they do at school.
Yeah.
Right? And
flew out across the room.
Teacher goes, you're a bit fat.
You look a bit pregnant.
And so best to the doctors, took him, said, you're 7 years pregnant, or something like that.
What, you
What? Or something like that?
You're 7 years pregnant.
Or something like that.
You say to the doctor, Carl, why don't you think about what you say before you say it?
See the reaction I get. Now, the gazelle, I didn't get excited like that.
7 years pregnant.
Send it in. If someone's online at the moment, just having a look around, it happened on Monday or Tuesday. Because I told you at the pub quiz, didn't I, Steve? I said to you, I know the baby's had a baby.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I just thought you were talking nonsense as ever.
Well, we'll find out.
You're 7 years pregnant.
Yeah.
You're a fool. Play a record.
Well, we've still got stuff coming up.
Monkey news?
Rockbusters answers. We'll have to get that out of the way soon, because we've got to get out.
Have we got a cheeky freak of the week?
Yeah.
Brilliant. America by Simon and Garfunkel on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, and I understand I'm about to read my words, Steve.
Well, once again, there's always someone, and it looks like it's Mike Lamb who has come to Carl's rescue.
Lambo's let me down then.
Doctors have removed a 4-pound baby boy from the stomach of his 7-year-old twin brother.
Yeah.
Alan Jan Niamatilev was born with the freak fetus growing inside him. For 7 years, it lived like a parasite until a school doctor became alarmed about Alan Jan's bulging tummy and took him to hospital. Surgeons who gave him a scan operated immediately, unaware that the baby was attached to the boy's blood vessels and still alive. They saved Alan Jan from certain death, but knew the 8-inch fetus was doomed. So there we are. Boy pregnant with his own twin brother by Barbara Davis. That was in the Mirror, apparently. So I've read on, and all the facts are right. They took him to school. The parents didn't realise.
And that isn't even this week's Freak of the Week.
I mean, that's
You
still
got
to
that for
come.
free. You got that. You can have that.
That's the free freak of the week.
Free freak.
That's, you know, that's giveaway. That's like 13.5% extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you might get with hairspray or something. So that, I mean, if that's just the throwaway freak of the week, there are 2 freaks of the weeks there. If those 2 freak, I can't wait to see what the actual freak of the week is that people are paying for. Is it incredible, Carl?
I'll tell you what, something else you can have for free.
Go on.
Another sort of freaky thing, right? I was watching this programme in the week. Right?
What?
I don't know what it was. But it was about, I just saw this little fella on it, right?
What do you mean, little fella?
He was doing this history thing,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No.
So, is this he's found out that a Viking was a bit like him?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
He was boneless or something, or he's...
Well, that's the weird thing. What do you think of that, Steve?
He's what? He's boneless.
No, he was called Harry the Boneless or something.
Yeah, but you know what you're going to get there, don't you? That's what I mean. Always have a name, Elephant Man, you know. Harry the Boneless. Where is he? You know what I mean?
I'm meeting someone, waiter, what's his name? He's called Harry the Boneless. He's over there flapping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming to
He's over
revenge.
there in the bucket, having noodles.
That's what I mean. But, do you reckon you could do that? Do you reckon you could have your bones taken out?
I love talking to him! He's brilliant, it's like talking to a 5-year-old.
I was asking Suzanne when she was watching it, and she was like, ask me later.
Yeah, brilliant.
She wanted to know about,
What you said? You were watching this programme about history, right? About Vikings.
Something like that.
You turned to your girlfriend and said, do you reckon you could have your bones taken out?
Yeah.
I love that.
What do
I
you
mean,
think?
that is why you are my favourite
What do you mean you think you can have your bones taken out? Firstly, why would you have your bones taken out?
If you've only got a small flat or something, and there isn't much room,
Yeah.
right? And what I mean is, would all your organs still do the stuff?
No, they wouldn't.
You'd just be mush.
Listen, I'll teach you something now, right? The skeleton, right? Spam. Yeah? Support, movement, anchorage. No, support, protection, anchorage, movement. Spam. That's what the bones do. Yeah? You couldn't stand up. You wouldn't be protected because they protect his rib cage, skull, of course. Anchorage, everything holds onto it. Every muscle is tethered to pull against something, like a crane, a pulley system, so you wouldn't be able to move at all. Do you know what I mean? So you'd be in a bucket. There'd be nothing, well, you'd die immediately, obviously. No, you can't have your bones taken out, Carl. I mean, why do you need to ask that question?
Sorry, but Boneless Bob, or whatever his name was. Harry the Boneless. he presumably didn't have any bones. I mean, that's why he had that name, obviously.
No, he did.
No,
He's
got the name.
Yeah, exactly. No, he was just...
I've had an email here from Graham, old Ken Rowe. He just says, I had a dream about Karl last night. Can I sue? I've no idea what he looks like, apart from the boldness, and yet he turns up in the middle of my dream. I don't need this, it's harassment.
Yeah.
But people are having dreams about you now, Karl. You actually, it's like you're one of something that was created by the Brothers Grimm.
I had a dream. You know when people used to have anxiety dreams, they had like an exam or something, like you suddenly go to school and you realised, oh my god, you didn't have your trousers on, or I had an anxiety dream. I assume we started off an anxiety dream about The Office, about filming The Office, and we had to film in HMV, but someone hadn't cleared it, and so we had to find an R price. And I went, oh, okay, that'll do. And as I was walking there, right, I didn't have any shoes on, which is like an anxiety dream, but I looked down and I went, so what?
Yeah.
So I'm so lazy now, I think even anxiety dreams don't kick into me.
I'm not sure that's a dream. I think that's just a memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you,
turned up with the film in The Office.
Yeah, with no shoes.
We don't need shoes.
When we were originally doing the pilot for the very first series, obviously Ricky's the main character, he's in it all the time. It's obviously important, it's our big chance to get something made for TV, you know, it's going to launch our careers. And, I turn up on the Monday, he's twisted his ankle. He has to be wheeled around in a wheelchair, because he went out jogging, stepped on a tin can in the street, and fell over.
Who left that there?
Like a 40-year-old man with brittle bone disease, he just twisted his ankle and he was out of action. It was pathetic.
Yeah, that was the pilot.
Absolutely pathetic.
But I still turned up, Carl. That's the sort of trooper I am.
Well, yeah, but you moaned the whole week.
Wait.
Well,
I didn't have to go around in a wheelchair, did I?
Yeah.
It's not pleasant, you know, but in a weird way, it taught me all the problems.
do you have anxiety dreams, Carl? Do you ever lie awake worrying about stuff?
because I have a lot going on in my head.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
What do you do? Rent it out to people?
Is it two monkeys swinging in a tie at the moment?
Yeah.
I just don't have that many dreams.
No.
I love that. I love the fact you don't have that many dreams. Well, you haven't had a decent night's sleep since you were 14, according to you.
12.
Really?
Yeah, so I
know what you meant. I know what you mean though now, when sometimes you're so tired, because I'd forgotten that. You're so tired and you think, well, I'm so glad I don't have to go out tonight. I'm going to go and just lay on the couch and then go to bed. Yeah.
Have you had one, Steve? Have you?
Anxiety dreams, I do have them periodically, yeah. It used to be a lot of, things like running to get to school in time, but, suddenly your feet are running in treacle and you can hear the school bell and you
I
can't
haven't had
get
them for years. I just haven't had an anxiety dream for years and years and years. Don't know. I just don't care.
No, you just genuinely don't care about anything. This is the problem. You've just got to a point now where nothing bothers you, really. It's like you're just too lazy and disinterested in anything. This show, your career, my career, Carl.
No, I never give up on Carl. So, Carl, so this little Harry the Boneless, what was your point? Was that really your point? You wondered if you could live without bones?
Yeah, I saw the little fella on this programme. And
The presenter?
Yeah, and he was a small fella and he was talking about Harry the Boneless. And I thought, that's interesting little bit of science stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's about it on him, really.
All right, well, that's just another bonus cheeky freak of the week, isn't it?
That's not even the freak of the week either.
No.
That's still to come.
So you've had a pregnant Siamese twin.
I know, it's been mad in
You've
the
had a
freak league.
boneless fella and another fella talking about him. They're not even involved in freak of the week.
No.
This is getting mad. Play a record.
Let's play a record. Let's have cheeky freak of the week afterwards, shall we?
Yeah.
Current single from Nick Cave.
Can we do monkey news first?
I'd rather have a cheeky freak of the week. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, He Wants You.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, Carl, off you go.
Well, we're not going to do freak of the week here.
Okay.
Right? Because we've done quite a bit of that in the last 20 minutes.
We've
Right, so we'll
OD'd
move
on
that.
freaks, you think?
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll just shift it a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't like to keep saying, don't want people to be thinking we're sort of taking the mick out of anyone.
No.
Right? Because we're not about that. I feel like I can do a little bit of it because I work with you, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
It gives me that right.
It's like a care worker. Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's like that thing of you can't be homophobic because I've got a couple of gay mates and stuff.
Sure.
I think it sort of gives me that edge.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're not freakophobic because you work with Steve?
No, that's right, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, by that token, I should be able to sort of slag off, the mentally ill.
What do you
Or
mean?
at least mentally handicapped.
Now, there's a term you don't hear very often. In 2003, there was the
The mentally handicapped. Isn't that what it was?
I don't know where to start.
But
I'd like to apologise for the Lady Diana stuff, the term mentally handicapped, and any inadvertent racism that we may have stumbled
What's
over.
the actual term then? Is it retarded?
Right, come on now.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news, earlier than usual.
I'll have to save this link now. Monkey news. We've done a lot of stuff, right, on monkeys. And most of it has been...
Is bollocks.
No, has been like happy stories.
Oh, is this it's not... Is this going to be like our tune? Our monkey tune. Simon Bates and welcome to our monkey tune.
No, but do you know what I mean? We've done stuff about a monkey that robbed a bank.
Yeah. Why is that happy?
He had a great life after that. Right.
What, in Marbella?
Yeah. Right, we did the one who saved someone's handbag in a railway station.
We've had a lovely marriage, couple of marriages.
Couple of monkey marriages.
Yeah,
There was the one who got a job in a railway station.
yeah, the hairdresser.
The one who set up a business in Spain.
I don't even remember that one.
that one either.
But, I'm willing to believe that happened. Go on then, Carl.
But anyway, yeah. So today's isn't that happy really. It's about some monkey. I think it was a chimp.
Who's an ape? Go on.
It tried to. I mean, the story sets off at a sort of a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's something about he went to Russia to do some business.
What are you talking about, Carl? I don't.
It jumped past that bit though. It didn't start there.
What are you...
Do you know what I mean? It didn't tell you what he was doing. It just said, there's this monkey, went to Russia.
To do some business.
I know.
Do some stuff.
I don't know.
Bit of monkey business. And, anyway, didn't work out.
So, they were furious. We wanted a surgeon. You send us a monkey.
Anyway, ended up being homeless.
Oh.
No, you're
So
joking.
it's taking a turn for the worst.
What, couldn't even get into like a tree hostel or anything like that?
That's the problem. And,
God.
ended up homeless. Got in with some tramps.
I don't know where to start.
Come on.
So he's knocking about with some tramps and stuff. Sharing drink and what have you around a little fire. They broke into some home, not sort of squatted.
Right, so
Into
not
the flat.
homeless anymore.
Problem was, he had a roof over his little area head.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, this is good. This is, we're having a good time. This is sorting me out.
Yeah.
He had his
He said
mate.
that in Russian, though.
What was he eating?
I don't know. It didn't say. But they're in this house.
Well, he could only be eating sort of like, fruit, nuts, vegetables. They classically sort of don't eat, pork pies and.
But they've got
drink
McDonald's
coffee.
in Moscow now, so.
Sure.
You probably chow down on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a bust.
What?
I knew this was
There was a bust in the flat that they were squatting in. All the other tramps sort of knew what was going on, legged it, left little chimps out there, got arrested. And they thought it was a real fella at first. They were like, get him, he's obviously just a scruffy bloke who hasn't had a shave and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't shaved his back for a while.
Or his face.
Yeah.
His head.
Got him down the station. And the boss was like, what's going on here? We've got a monkey here. He was like, what? So you arrested a monkey?
Well, so the arresting officers hadn't noticed all the way to the station that he kept slipping out of the handcuffs and was going for the entire journey. They didn't notice till they got there. What, did they put a hood over his head maybe and just like,
I don't know. I'll give you the story if you want. There's the headline.
What is it? What's the headline, Steve? I don't want to see it, but...
The headline, this is once again from supposedly reputable news organisation Ananova, homeless monkey arrested in Russia.
Did you read on, or did you see the headline and make up that whole story?
Most of it is there.
What isn't there? What bit isn't there then?
I think Steve can have a look over it, check it out and stuff.
Point out the embellishment for me, Steve, will you?
Well, what it doesn't say is that the police didn't realise it was a monkey.
That's what I was guessing. Really? That they got it back and said, what are you doing? We've got a monkey here. And they go, yeah? Yeah. Oh, God.
There's some more monkey problems in the week. Have you seen the Alfords advert with monkeys in?
No.
There's a new advert out for Alfords selling bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got some monkeys in it. It's caused an uproar.
Why?
People are saying it's, dressing them up in tracksuits and that is,
Taking the mickey out of Manchester.
it's not nice for the animals and that. So there's been loads of
But
complaints
they get a
about
free
it.
bike or something, do they, I imagine?
I think they kept the tracksuits.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
that's the
after
thing,
this
though.
cheeky freak of the week.
No, I'm just saying we're not doing this to sort of, again, take the mickey out of the animals and stuff. These are true stories and that. But yeah, coming next, Freak of the Week.
Kings of Leon, Red Morning Light on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and little Karl Pilkington. Getting excited because it's his special time of the week where he gets to talk about a cheeky freak of the week.
Well, just get Rockbusters out of the way, right? Because I've got to put these prizes in the post bag now, so I'm shooting off.
Yeah, because you got to go early. So I don't know how you do your job. You went to Manchester, you went to Madeira, you had a day off because your trousers were wet and you had a cold, and now you're shooting down to Cornwall. You're leaving early. How do you get your work done? And you've got one job. Me and Steve have got loads of things to do.
The man fast let me work. Like I said, the prize is ready and packed up. Here. No one's being affected by me shooting off early. Right?
Okay.
So, Rockbusters answers, got to get them out of the way a bit earlier. Right? So, here they are. First one. He's got American coins all the way down his spine.
Yeah.
Why would that be? Right? Initial was N.
Nickelback. I got all these this week.
Right. Second one, Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis. What's going on there?
Stiff little fingers.
SLF, stiff little fingers.
Yeah.
And the third one, Foxy, Shipman, and
No, and a country and western singer, you said. Now, what's the initial?
SD.
Yeah, so Spin Doctors. Yeah, I got that. And then I said to you, why is it a country and western singer? And you said Dr. Hook. Why is it Dr. Hook? Why does that give anyone the clue Dr. Hook? A country and western singer.
It's just what was in my mind when I thought.
Well, there we are.
There you go. So it was change this to Rockbusters or What Am I Thinking? You could have had Dre.
What's in my mind? You could have had And the Medics. All right? Yeah. Just think it through.
Who's the winner?
The winner, very lucky, Sandra Cassidy of Leon C. She gets all those great prizes. You know, we've actually had people emailing in saying, this is the worst Rockbusters ever, because it was too easy, it was boring.
Oh.
This is just, don't shoot the messenger.
Oh,
Other
dear.
people saying, it really has run its course. Some people genuinely agree.
Oh, Carl, this must hurt, mate.
Stinging attacks on you. Some people just slagging you off generally, saying that you whinge all the time.
It looks like Steve was right when he sort of like poo-poos your ideas.
So
when he wheezed on your bonfire.
Someone else, I swear to God, someone else emailed in and said, don't bother sending me the prizes, take them to a charity shop, or pawn them, give me the money, I'd rather have it. So I don't know what to say, Carl. I just wonder if it really has run its course now.
All right, well, we'll see what you come up with next week, then. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you come in with.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
At 5-1. I'm guessing you'll be popping in with another hip-hop track full of effing and jeffing.
Well, I won't bring it into you, I'll do it myself at home. Obviously that makes it easier. Obviously you can't cope.
Oh, dear.
Are you actually going to be here next week, or are you still going to be in Cornwall?
No, you see, there again, I'll be back in time. And in the week, when I go to, Cornwall, see the Monkey World.
Yeah, you're 2 days past the Monkey World.
That still work.
Yeah.
That still work? What
you're going to interview some of the monkeys?
I love that. I love that. You were going, could a monkey live without bones? And so I'm going, Carl, shut please, just look at the monkeys and eat your ice cream. And that's work, is it?
Right.
Right, are we having Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Do you want to do it?
What time have you got to shoot off?
Could do with shooting off sort of soonish.
Okay.
To be honest.
This is not radio. Have you ever heard that on a radio show? Chris Tarrant going, I can't shoot off on radio. I couldn't get a later train.
I know! Why did you get a later train? There isn't a later train. So I couldn't get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well, that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. You're not thought
whatever. I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now.
Oh, cheeky Freak of the Week.
Right, well, we've had some interesting things we've been looking at. This week, it's about the strangest couple that ever got married.
and we've had 2 sets of chimps, so it's stranger than that. Oh, it's not Dale Winton and Nell McAndrew, is it?
It's not your parents, is it?
Well, we're going back again to I think this is about 19...
something like that.
1940.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
Strangest couple, a fella, right? He had the skin of a lizard.
He had the skin of a lizard, okay.
And the woman who he married...
Which he used as a condom.
The woman who he married, airiest woman ever.
Right.
And that was their act. They used to tour the world, and they'd say, it's like, couple who've met, they're having a great life. Let's get them out on stage, here they are. And they'd
what do you mean he had the skin of a lizard, first of all?
That's what he said. He had some sort of some illness.
So he was called Lizard Man, and you like that because it was good description.
I thought that's good.
I'm here. Hello, dude, we've booked a table for 2. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting Lizard Man. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah.
You know he is, right?
Yeah.
I'm meeting the hairiest woman in the world. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they do for their act?
Now, bear in mind that we had some Siamese twins last week, and their act was having a bath.
Yeah.
So I hope it's an improvement on that.
What did Lizard Man? He came out and ate some flies, did he?
I don't really know. I just think they stood there and that.
Yeah, when you read this, and it goes, the most interesting fact ever, lizard man, and you go, that's enough, I can extrapolate from that.
Well, straight away I'm thinking, right, I wonder if they got the wedding photos. Right? And then, like you said, that they had a kid.
Oh, what would that be like?
Exactly.
It'd be like an ostrich, wouldn't it? It would sort of like...
That's what I was thinking.
What did you think it would come out like, the baby?
I didn't think what that looked like, I just was thinking, parents' evening. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't want them coming up to the school, would you?
So little Johnny, who starts off relatively normal, he's quite good at, he's good at nature, isn't he? And his mum and dad come into the room and they'd be looking round, wouldn't they?
Well, it's always like that thing at school when, like, you find out your mate's mum and dad are really old.
Right,
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
When you go, your gran and granddad bought you?
Yeah.
The mum and dad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
It is weird.
What's that we're talking about? He calls him mum. What was that? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
no,
like,
that's always strange. If you had Godzilla and King Kong as your parents, and it was,
they're always fighting.
They're always fighting, and like you say, you're in a school play or something, you wouldn't tell them, would you? You wouldn't want him coming up with a video camera.
He didn't tell his parents he was in the...
Well, exactly.
You did Little Donkey, you didn't tell your dad, did you? And he came along and videoed it.
Yeah.
Kept
it quiet, don't want him to know anything.
But you didn't... What was it was meant to be playing? You had a little drum, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing... I had a little drum. I think I was meant to be playing We Three Kings.
Yeah.
But he started doing Little Donkey and I thought, I can add a touch to this.
Sure, you improvise.
Started playing along.
It was like the first remix, wasn't it?
It went down well. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are. That, they don't have to...
comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean, Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are?
Just...
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Pop in, give us a call. I thought, that's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, like, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping. We'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy a comb.
Park right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Carl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Carl.
Brilliant. What are you planning? You can play a song?
Kirsty McCall.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Kirsty McCall, New England. Karl Pilkington has left the building. He's rushed away. He's on his way down to Cornwall. And we're left by ourselves.
Indeed.
In the room. See, if we can do this...
If we can press all the buttons and not make any mistakes, strictly speaking, there's no need for Karl.
I don't mind if we make mistakes.
Well, no, exactly.
We never were in the old days,
No,
did we?
sure.
I think Karl is going to love Cornwall. Because I think, one, the mayor is probably an animal.
Yes.
And I imagine the townsfolk think like Karl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I imagine he'll stay there. He'll be made king.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? In Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks, the little furry creatures, they see C-3PO, and because he can talk and he can speak their language, they actually elevate him to godlike status.
What are you doing here?
Hooray!
He's back.
What are you doing?
You could have stayed till the end.
No, I'll see you later.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right.
Right, well, there he is. He's on his way.
Yeah, if you're listening online in Cornwall, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But,
on a clothesline with a bean tin at one end and a big bean tin in London. Or if I'm cool in London.
Yeah, or if the foil helmet you wear to fend off laser rays from aliens out of space are somehow picking up the show, then Carl's on his way. Look forward to meet the bold one.
Because he's got a sort of like, the obligatory sort of red face that would go well down there now. Because I think he's been out in the sun, or he was pre-boiled when he came in. But he's rushing down to Cornwall now, going from Paddington Station. So,
if you're in the Paddington Station area, you want to pop down there and sort of wave him off, then do. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
That's not a dirty sexual act.
Wave him off.
Yeah, I'd love to wave him off. And, call in the week as well, carl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk. Send him anything. Just clog up his email.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets stressed at work. So if you can send him 3 or 4 emails each.
Yeah.
Over the next week, so he's got to read them all. But disguise them, don't make them look rubbish, so at least he's got to sort of open them and look at them. Or, some of them might be correspondence, so he will, just phone his, line as well, just ask for XFM, ask, Carl, and leave long messages on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So, if you can, just for us, just for me and Steve, remember, it is mine and Steve's show. Carl is merely like, the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If Carl can come back, maybe next Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever he comes back, to about 250 emails and 200 voicemail messages.
If you put down, when it says, what's the name of the message, the title of the message, if you put monkey news or monkey information, he'll have to open it then, because he'll be intrigued, even if it's not about monkeys.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Voicemail messages. Leave them long. I like there's information. Disguise it, so it might be important.
Yeah.
Just so he has to listen to it. I wish I'd give his own mobile out, but, that is just too cool. But anyone can get him at XFM, and of course we've given out his email before, so I mean, go mental.
There are plenty of ways to torture Karl Pilkington. I mean, we're doing all we can on a Saturday.
But we're only 2 people.
But we're only 2 men.
You know what I mean?
So
listen, go berserk. We'll be back next Saturday, and we'll leave with song for the lovers, song for the ladies, whatever. It's a beautiful track.
A song for the sunshine.
Song for the Sunshine. It's Lily White by Cat Stevens. And we've done it. We don't need Carl.
Definitely not. See you next week, Rick.
Bye. That worked, didn't it? See, panic over. Calm now. You're on holiday soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got to go off early.
Well, about.
How many holidays have you had? Because I only ever have time off when I'm working, like doing another job, like, filming or something. But you seem to have a lot of holidays, just like, and you were sick as well. You were just like, because you had wet trousers, which is a little bit. Do you not care about the job? I mean, I've got to ask because, you know what I mean? If I was in charge, I'd worry about your motivation because yesterday we were trying to work out what you enjoyed doing, and we got to, Manchester United and moaning. And that is the two we came up with.
I don't know where you get the moaning thing
You're
from.
always whinging.
About what?
Everything.
When? When did I last have a moan?
Just before we came on air.
Right, and why was that?
I don't know, I can't remember. Because we were in good mood. We were in a good mood, me and Rick.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because you brought a song in at 10 to 1.
Yeah.
With a load of effing and jeffing in it.
Yeah.
And saying, can you edit this?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's your job.
You could have brought it in yesterday.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I hadn't thought of it. But why are you whinging? That's your job. And I didn't come in 10 minutes before. It was a good 20 minutes before. It just took you ages because you were whinging and moaning to even get started.
I'm not being dragged into this.
You are always...
I'm on my holiday now.
Well, not yet. No, you're not on yet. You're still working.
Well, that's what's funny. This isn't even work, right? And yet it should be. Compared to what I do in the week, this is a doddle.
Well, it's because you're not putting any effort in, clearly. Where are you going anyway? Where are you heading?
Cornwall.
Yeah? What's happening down there?
Well, there's a monkey world.
You're excited about that?
We're going to go and see that. Probably go twice to that.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm down there.
How long are you in for? The whole week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
this is with your parents, isn't it?
Yeah. Taking them out.
Your father, what do you think your father will be up to? What's he going to be nicking on this holiday?
Well,
tin. There's a lot of tin in Cornwall. Since they've shut the mines.
He's just called Suzanne, said they've got there. Said it's a nice little place.
Mm-hmm. There'll be no towels when you get there.
So what are you do? What are you to do? Just going to chill out and sort of like go to the pub and stuff?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, all I've got planned is probably probably Tuesday and Thursday at Monkey World.
What about Wednesday? What are you thinking of Wednesday? Just wandering around?
Just sort of think about,
King Arthur and that. Where he was down there, wasn't he?
I don't know, but I'll tell you something.
Going? What town?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Suzanne sorted it out.
Yeah, she's sorted it out. I had you on the phone to her saying, well, pack 2 pairs. Poor woman. She's packing your bags for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
you'd spend more time at home if Steve didn't come in at 10-2 with a rap record with, like, obscenities all over it.
Yeah, well, we'll play that next week.
Well, you didn't even get the job done, that's the thing. We can't even play it because you didn't get finishing time.
I'll tell you what. Kings of Leon, Red Morning Light on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and little Karl Pilkington. Getting excited because it's a special time of the week where he gets to talk about a cheeky freak of the week.
Well, just get Rockbusters out of the way, right? Because I've got to put these prizes in the post bag now, so I'm shooting off.
Yeah, because you got to go early. So I don't know how you do your job. You went to Manchester, you went to Madeira, you had a day off because your trousers were wet and you had a cold, and now you're shooting down to Cornwall. You're leaving early. How do you get your work done? You've got one job. Me and Steve have got loads of things to do.
I'm fast at my work. Like I said, the prize is ready and packed up. Here. No one's being affected by me shooting off early. Right?
Okay.
Are you actually going to be here next week, or are you still going to be in Cornwall?
No, you see, there again, I'll be back in time.
Oh.
And in the week, when I go to, Cornwall, to see the monkey world...
Yeah, you're 2 days past the monkey world.
That still work.
Yeah.
That still work? What?
What, you're going to interview some of the monkeys?
I
Get some
love
stories?
that. I love that. You were going, could a monkey live without bones? And so I'm going, Karl, shut the please, just look at the monkeys and eat your ice cream. And that's work, is it?
Right.
Right, are we having Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Do you want to do it?
What time have you got to shoot off?
Could do with shooting off sort of soonish,
Okay.
to be honest.
This is not radio. Have you ever heard that on a radio show? Chris Tarrant going, I can't shoot off right now. I couldn't get a later train.
I know! Why did you get a later train? There isn't a later train. So I couldn't get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well, that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. You're not thought it through.
Whatever. I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now. This week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are. That, they don't have to...
comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are.
Just...
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Pop in, give us a call. I thought, that's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping. Let's, we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy a comb.
Park right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Karl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Karl.
Brilliant. What are you planning to play a song?
Kirsty MacColl.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Kirsty MacColl, New England. Karl Pilkington has left the building. He's rushed away. He's on his way down to Cornwall. And we're left by ourselves.
Indeed.
In the room. See, if we can do this...
If we can press all the buttons and not make any mistakes, strictly speaking, there's no need for Karl.
I don't mind if we make mistakes.
Well, no, exactly.
We never were in the old days,
No, sure.
I think Karl is going to love Cornwall. Because I think, one, the mayor is probably an animal.
Yes.
And I imagine the townsfolk think like Karl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I imagine he'll stay there. He'll be made king.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? In Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks, the little furry creatures, they see C-3PO, and because he can talk and he can speak their language, they actually elevate him to godlike status.
What are you doing here?
Hooray!
He's back.
What are you doing?
You could have stayed till the end.
I'll see you later.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right.
Right, well, there he is. He's on his way.
Yeah, if you're listening online in Cornwall, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But,
on a clothesline with a bean tin at one end and a big bean tin in London. Or if I'm cool in London.
Yeah, or if the foil helmet you wear to fend off laser rays from aliens out of space are somehow picking up the show, then Karl's on his way. Look forward to meet the bold one.
Because he's got a sort of the obligatory sort of red face that would go well down there now. Because I think he's been out in the sun, or he was pre-boiled when he came in. But he's rushing down to Cornwall now, going from Paddington Station. So,
Yeah.
you know,
if you're in the Paddington Station area, you want to pop down there and sort of wave him off, then do.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
That's not a dirty sexual act.
Wave him off.
Yeah, I'd love to wave him off. And call in the week as well, carl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk. Send him anything. Just clog up his email.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets stressed at work. So if you can send him 3 or 4 emails each.
Yeah.
Over the next week, so he's got to read them all. But disguise them, don't make them look rubbish, so at least he's got to sort of open them and look at them. Or, you know, some of them might be correspondence, so he will. It's, you know, just phone his line as well. Just ask for XFM, ask Carl, and leave long messages on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So if you can, just for us, just for me and Steve, remember, it is mine and Steve's show. Carl is merely like, you know, the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If Carl can come back maybe next Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever he comes back, to about 250 emails and 200 voicemail messages.
If you put down, when it says, what's the name of the message, the title of the message, if you put monkey news or monkey information, he'll have to open it then, because he'll be intrigued, even if it's not about monkeys.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Voicemail messages. Leave them long. I like this information. Disguise it, so it might be important.
Yeah.
Just so he has to listen to it. I wish I'd give his mobile out, but, you know, that is just too cruel. But anyone can get him at XFM, and of course we've given out his email before, so I mean, go mental.
There are plenty of ways to torture Karl Pilkington. I mean, we're doing all we can on a Saturday.
But we're only 2 people.
But we're only 2 men.
You know what I mean?
So
listen, go berserk. We'll be back next Saturday, and we'll leave with song for the lovers, song for the ladies, whatever. It's a beautiful track.
A song for the sunshine.
Song for the Sunshine. It's Lily White by Cat Stevens. And we've done it. We don't need Carl.
Definitely not. See you next week, Rick.
Bye. Well, there's the darkness. They believe in a thing called love. Carl, do you? This is XFM 104.9. That is my favourite band at the moment.
You love them?
I absolutely love them. I think they're funny. I think they're straight down the line with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Oh, brilliant. See them on Jules Holland last night?
I didn't, sadly, no.
Brilliant.
Were they good?
Yeah, absolutely jumped. Oh, I mean, Jules didn't know what to do.
was he playing some Boogie Woogie?
They wouldn't let him play Boogie Woogie over the song. That's what I mean. That's why he stayed back. But
I can't imagine it was very good. Then.
He shook the.
I'm surprised you say they were good. It was Jules wasn't thinking.
I mean, I thought. Hold on, this is missing something.
Yeah.
This is missing someone from Squeeze vamping over them.
Exactly.
But they did well without him.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Well,
here we are. Then we're back. XFM 104.9. Carl had to leave early last week, but you stay to the end this week, mate. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need another holiday.
Oh, he started already.
I mean,
Steve's made you look like a bit of a twat already, and it's only 1:05.
But the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
Oh, and he's gone straight back.
Well,
He's gone straight back.
I can't come back to that.
Oh,
it's just dynamite. It's just absolute. That was
Although
searing
the last
and cut
holiday,
to the chase.
last holiday Steve had, he sort of found a third world country so he could live like a king for a week. It was Cuba, wasn't it?
Going to Cuba, amazing. You can almost rule the place. If it weren't for Castro, I'd have been in charge. Kind of cash I was flashing around. They do anything for $1 over there. It's extraordinary, literally. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Definitely, and I went to Kenya before that.
So he thought, and the prostitute said no. You were going.
Yeah, well, it was $2. I mean, I'm not made of money.
Do you have a good holiday, Carl?
Yeah, it was alright. It's alright. Went down to Cornwall.
Now,
Tell
you're
you
going
what,
to the monkey
some odd
sanctuary.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never mind.
Genetically, he means.
Right.
They're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
What are they weird? What do they look like?
Just all sort of odd people. A lot of old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? You can't just say that. There's.
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
What did she have a funny neck? If you were writing an essay, you wouldn't say there was this woman with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head like pointed down all the time. Like,
Don't do it. It's his radio.
no, but just for you, I do like that.
Yeah.
Walking about like
Yeah. Okay. Right. So brilliant.
that. I don't know. I was saying to Suzanne, what happened? You know, what do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her what happened to her, and Suzanne goes, "Carl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been here before."
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
I got a little bit of chocolate. Can you just lick a tissue and wipe it off?
Oh,
Well, she said it might have been like because back in the olden days they carried stuff on the.
the olden days.
What do you mean the olden days?
This woman was probably what, 50?
No, she looked about 70.
Yeah.
But like I do on Cheeky Freak of the Week, right? I always turn it round and we get like something good out
Something
of it.
positive, yeah.
I said to Suzanne, I bet she finds a lot of money. Cool.
Always staring at the ground, yeah.
Oh,
So
dear.
it was always good.
So, you're
Maybe
back?
she just had new shoes and she was admiring them.
Yeah.
Did you think of that? Before you point the finger and judge?
Or a necklace was too heavy.
Exactly.
So, you're back refreshed. So, what have we got for this week? Have we sort of... Because we didn't meet last night, which we usually meet
No,
sort of
I
Friday.
called you and said it'd be good if we could. I wasn't getting back into London.
Well, I was up
until
for it. I was up for it,
7:30,
you know.
but
Yeah.
but we all need to be there. It's not
Yeah.
just me and you being there.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right that I wasn't there yet because I wasn't willing to just be governed by your particular schedule. You want to jet back in from another of your holidays
It wasn't a
at
holiday.
8 o'clock.
Wasn't a holiday though.
Well, so what? You
What
were
do you
out
mean?
of town.
What do you mean it wasn't a holiday? What was it?
It was a treat, wasn't it, for my mum and dad? So it wasn't a holiday.
What, so you didn't enjoy the 5 days off? You'd rather have been here moaning 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day.
You see, we said last week that you're always whinging. Here you are whinging now.
I'm not
And you're
moaning.
saying it's not even a holiday. You're saying it's not even a holiday. What was it then?
Would like a nurse who take sick children to Florida, would they say having a great holiday?
Sorry, what particular ailment did your parents have for the week that they had to fly in Karl Pilkington, MD?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, all right, it was a holiday.
Well then, good. Now some honesty, now some truth.
So you came back from your holiday, you wanted to start back to work straight away, Steve couldn't be bothered to meet. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So we've got nothing prepared for this.
Well, you can rely on Rockbusters. Right, that's
We've
coming
got
up.
nothing.
Monkey News. got a
Even though
bit of
you were
some-
away, you were still working.
Still doing stuff.
Did you go to
That's-
the Monkey Sanctuary?
I'll tell you about that.
Tell us about it.
Play a record.
Play a
All
tune.
right. Do you want a bit of Smashing Pumpkins?
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
an
yeah,
old classic
yeah.
from them, Cherub Rock.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock. That, of course, Rick, is available on their greatest hits.
Brilliant.
If you want.
I mean, that's how I rock. So
Yeah.
I know they. I'm very much the shape of a cherub as well.
Well, indeed.
Naked with a couple of
and a rosy big arse.
and a trumpet.
Yeah.
Do they have trumpets?
I don't know. I've just had an email here. Monkey News
Yeah.
from a listener. Monkey spotted holidaying in Cornwall. A chimp was spotted holidaying in Cornwall last week after befriending a family of 3. One onlooker said, "It was incredible. He dressed and behaved exactly like a human being. He even settled the hotel bill at the end of their stay. The only telltale sign was his lack of table manners and the incoherent babble when he opened his mouth." There we are. So
Well, what do you think of that, Carl?
that's the listeners, Carl. That's Joanne.
Amusing, articulate, accurate. She remembered
Accurate.
exactly who's there and everything. Setting the bill. It's all there. So I mean, even though people think that you're slightly simian, slightly less than human on the evolutionary ladder, they do listen to you. So I mean, I don't know who's more stupid in the end, you or the listeners.
Well, you may recall, Rick, at the end of last week when Carl had to shoot off early, we issued a little request for listeners just to bombard Carl's email with just pointless emails that really weren't about anything, just to clog up his email for when he returned.
Yeah.
Rick, they sent them all to us.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's the kind of listeners that we've got. We've got reams here on our email of just junk.
I mean, it's like a Marx Brothers plot, isn't it? I mean, just
ludicrous.
listen.
Listen to what we say.
I got one about a shaved cat. Well, that's not pointless. I'll be reading that later.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy.
That'll keep me going for a couple of weeks.
I'll be reading that later.
Did you get to the Monkey Sanctuary? Because this was the big thing. You were going into Cornwall, you were going to visit the Monkey Sanctuary. I've never seen someone more excited. You had 2 days put aside for the Monkey Sanctuary. How did it go, Monkey World?
We were on our way, right? I found like a little in a little cottage that we had, right? It's like a little folder, with little leaflets in saying if you're into mountains, you want to go here.
Yeah.
If you're into castles and that.
Here's a
Little
castle
monkey
world.
on the leaflet, right? So I thought I'll be needing that. Took that out, made sure that's safe and
Yeah.
that, right? We get in the car, getting ready to go. My dad says, "Where is it?" I look on the back. It's in a place called Low or something like that, right? Yeah. So we're on our way. Can't believe me luck. It's going to be a great day and all that.
Yeah.
And then start looking at the leaflet, right? And noticed didn't have any chimps there.
Yeah, it's not Monkey World.
It wasn't a monkey world.
Well, what
No.
was it called then?
Something like,
Monkey Town.
yeah, it was just, it had like woolly monkeys in it. That's what
They
it
had
was.
what?
Woolly monkeys.
What are woolly monkeys?
Those things, Johnny Vegas off the advert.
Right.
Loads of them. They're dumped now since ITV Digital
Yeah.
went under, so they just put them in a cage.
I don't
They're
understand.
woolly. They're like they're sort of like little fluffy little baboon type things. Woolly monkeys. I mean, it's not your chimp. It's not your classic chimpanzee.
So did the car screech to a halt?
It was like
Yeah.
it was like the mission in Armageddon. I just said abort. We're on the way back.
So how far had you got before you bothered to read the leaflet?
Probably about 5 miles away from where we were.
So what did you do with yourself? You must have been distraught.
We
Well,
went
they
to,
broke down and then they heard banjo music.
Yeah.
No, we went to a sort of an amusement place.
Brilliant. I'd love to see you in that. What, with putting those coins in so it has to roll down and they go flat and then an arm pushes
It
them.
was one of them.
Really?
But
I
I'd worked it
spent
out as
years
a
on that when I was little.
Well, there's a new one. I can't be bothered explaining it, but it's a con. We went to this place, right? My mum and dad had been there before, and they said, you'll love it. It's brilliant. It's got like a war bit in it.
A war bit, right?
Yeah, like, because they know I'm into tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be loving that.
So, sorry, I didn't know you were into tanks.
No.
Well, they're all right.
Brilliant. It's gone from one of his childhood passions to they're all right.
I know, yeah. Go on.
And but it was awful. I mean, my mum and dad had been there before, and he said, "No, you'll love it." But it was like a really miserable day.
Sure.
Right? All the rides and that were broke.
Yeah.
Broke.
It just reminded you of Manchester.
My dad just ended up. He was more interested. There was a really fat family there.
Well, presumably he was breaking into the machines, trying to scoop off the cash.
I like the fact that those poor fat family were going, why are those people looking at us?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride one?
No, but
we're not a ride.
They were massive, and he just like, look at that, look at the state of that whole family.
Yeah.
Just fat.
Bloaters, yeah.
All right.
No,
down.
but because fat, there's no need for it, is there? And he was really like, oh God. And then he wanted to follow them into the House of Mirrors to see what they look like. But my mum had got bored. She went off to buy a little Snow White figure. She couldn't believe her luck. It was only $2.99.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be really expensive.
Sure,
so she
she's a
bought
classy
one of
lady.
them. So she enjoyed that. And then my dad says, come on, we go in. It's rubbish, this.
What, the fat family wouldn't let him play with them?
So he just said on the way home, he said, I can safely say that I never want to go there again before I die. So that was that. And then we went home.
Why would he ever give you that information? In case it was like a secret birthday present. You go, oh God, what if they get me a trip to here? Or if he's in a coma and you go, I'll tell you what, bring him out of it.
That fat couple.
yeah.
By his bedside.
Yeah.
But Suzanne said she now realises why I am the way I am after spending like a week with them.
Well,
She said-
they told her that they dropped you on your head as a kid, or
No, just like, the way they act and that.
right? Yeah.
And then they were saying things like, Suzanne, so, why is the moon out at night and the sun in the day? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's 3 of them.
Suzanne, can you tie my shoelaces again?
It was the bit when my dad said, don't waste money on a coffin for him, just put him in a bin bag.
Your father said that about himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm glad you mentioned that because
That is great.
that gives me an idea.
Saves a bit of money.
My dog. Nelly, Ride With Me. That's featuring City Spud. I don't know if you're aware of that, but there we are. Good, nice summer tune.
Carl, tell Steve what you just told me when Steve was in the toilet then.
Right, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that. And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff, and every time I see him, he tells me something, and I'm just like, why are you just telling me that now? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of.
well, this happened. Right? I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line, and he was saying, "Oh, trains aren't what they used to be."
Sure.
He said, he said I was
They used to be
looking.
horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying how you can have your bags collected if you want, but it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course.
Right, so he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to like getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right? So he said when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that and the other. So I said, oh, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine.
Uh-huh.
Right? And one day he's in he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMX Centre.
Right.
Right? And that was like the main station. And he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train, right? He said, I'm just nipping to the pub.
Sure.
So you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah.
For a quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, you know, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He says, right, can you move the train forward now?
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, oh. So he didn't want to say, the fella's in the pub, because he'd know he'd say, what's he doing in the pub? He should be working, right? So he said, yeah, no problem. I'll sort it out. Right, so he puts it into gear or whatever you do on them trains.
Sure,
right?
puts it into first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? It's only the engine that has brakes on it. So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal.
Of course,
and
yeah.
like.
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that, so he's pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well, he's
I'll put the brakes on now.
Yeah.
Right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, he's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box. Right? Loads
The
of
baboon
damage.
pulling the signals don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money,
Yeah.
it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella had lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkington gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. They'd never put it on telly.
Carl, have we still got monkey news?
We've got monkey news coming up.
Now, you must be disappointed because you didn't make it to the monkey sanctuary, but you still managed to scrape together monkey news on your holiday.
Yeah.
That's
So I
impressive.
found some of that. We've got...
How do you get so many breaks and holidays? Because you went away with Suzanne's parents. You've just been away with your parents. That's a couple of weeks, 10 days. So that's probably about 3 weeks in all. You had that. You went to Manchester. You had that day off because your trousers were wet. I mean, and I suppose because you've only got one job, and I've got a lot more. This is just one of my jobs. But I mean, don't you ever count your blessings? Go, God, thank God, I can have time off. I don't work too hard. I'm not stressed too much.
No. It's just all to do with when you do work, do a lot. So I get a lot done.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm always doing stuff. I mean, even though when I was in Cornwall, right, I'm sat there on the grass.
I'd love to just sit on the grass.
You're too busy.
Chill out. But I know, yeah, well,
Me dad and Suzanne are playing crib, right? I'd sort of fallen out with him at
Your
that
dad
point.
and Suzanne are playing
Why did you
crib.
fallen
Because
out
you do
with
live in
who?
the 1940s.
Yeah, why had you fallen out?
Because with crib, have you ever played crib?
Yeah.
Right, you've got to be pretty good at maths.
Sure.
Well, you've got to make your cards add up to 15 and all.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna correct John, you've got to be good at maths. Yeah. What, algebra, quantum physics, what?
No, just adding up.
Adding up to 15. Brilliant.
I mean,
You can
that's-
almost do it on your fingers.
You could in Cornwall. Yeah.
But my dad's really good at maths, and like he said, how many have you got? And he always counts his, and it's like 15, 2, 15, 4, 15, 6, 3 for your hat, 1 and all that. Do you know what I mean? He adds it up really
One
quick.
for his knob.
Right, so I was like, right, hang on a minute. And he goes, no, what do you mean, hang on? Add it up, what have you got? He says, oh, forget it. I said, this isn't fun if you're going to start getting all arty with me. Sure. So,
Forget it.
yeah.
I love it. But I don't know him, but I'm sure he's just winding you up. His victory is you going, forget it, I'm not playing.
Well, anyway, right, so it doesn't matter. I think I'll go off and do some prep, right?
Yes.
Do some research for Saturday. Found one of Suzanne's magazines, right? Flicking through, because there's always interesting stuff in there. There was something about swingers.
Right.
I was like, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And it had an interview with some people talking about, how the sleep about a bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if my wife looked like that, I probably would. Because there was a few pictures of them and they were all pretty ugly.
Yes.
I thought, right. So I took that in, soaked that up, thought, there you go. Carried on reading. There was a bit in there about how women still have crushes, right?
Yes.
And the woman was going on about how she's 38, right? But she still fancies Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, even though it'll never happen, she's still got that little bit in her head that thinks one day she'll leave Gwyneth, right? And end up with her, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking this is a bit boring, but I'm flicking through it all. And,
Is this a Rockbusters clue?
no. Right. And I read further on, right? And, she said, you know, I like to go out with my mates, and we come up with lists in pubs of people who like, oh, you know, they'd be nice to go out with. She also came up with a list of unlikely lost objects, I think she called them.
Yeah.
Guess who was in that list?
Ricky Gervais.
Think again.
Karl Pilkington.
Right. Next one.
Johnny Vegas.
Said, lanky co-writer.
Rubbish.
Lanky co-writer.
What do you mean lanky co-writer?
Well, do I need to say any more? He said...
Hang on, wait a minute. Let's not talk about... I don't know why you're laughing at my expense. I'm an unlikely lost object.
Yeah,
But yeah, what was it called? The list?
The unlikely lost object
Yes.
list. You were in there, right?
Who else was?
Well, you weren't in there.
Richard Madeley,
Fine.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Alistair Campbell.
Brilliant. Another handsome dude. What are you talking about? You think I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that? I'm proud of it. What magazine was it? I need to buy a couple of copies.
It was.
Need to get a t-shirt made.
Yeah, and did she leave her number?
Yeah. What magazine was it? I'm just out of interest.
I think it's called Red.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But now you've dissed those people that are putting themselves in there as swingers because you've said they're ugly. So now we know what magazine it is. People are going to look at that. People are going to look at that poor woman, and they're going to know you think she's a hog.
No, but I think they even know.
Was there a picture of the woman who'd
know.
drawn up the list of unlikely lust objects? Mm-hmm. What was she like?
I wouldn't waste my time.
Thanks, mate. I know you're on my side.
Cardigans. You're the Storm on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly the end of the show, but we wouldn't let them down, would we? You know what it is now, don't you? Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
All right. Now, whilst I was in Cornwall, I wasn't online. I didn't have the internet, so it was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I didn't come back till yesterday. I thought there's loads going on that I don't know about in the monkey world and stuff. I was hoping to get some from the zoo that I was meant to be going to. Of course, that didn't happen. So I said to my dad, do you know anything about monkeys? Or have you got any stories with monkeys?
Brilliant. This is what Trevor McDonald does.
Turned out...
9:45, he goes, got nothing. Dad, anything happened? You got anything politics? Anything politics, Dad? No.
This isn't monkey news, I'm just giving you this free.
Yeah, brilliant.
Turned out one of his mates used to have a chimp.
Right.
What do you mean one of his mates used to have a chimp?
Well, two of his mates.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was thinking it sounded a bit far-fetched living in Manchester, like. But if there was two of them...
He had a chimp, had to thump it in the head.
For doing what? Answering back?
Oh, God!
Tried it on with his wife.
Had to thump it in the head for trying it on with his wife! I love it. It's a proper fist fight in a pub in Manchester. Oh.
I'd call him up, but he's one of them who, like, swears all the time.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it'd be good to get him on and just...
Let's interview him. Can we not interview him pre-record? We can bleep out the swear. I'd love to hear his
do
story.
a lot of work, that.
Yeah, well, we're not scared of work, are we,
No, I mean,
Steve?
I'll get myself if you can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Have a word, I'll sort it out.
Yeah, try and sort that out next week.
sort that out, yeah.
Well, don't tell us the rest of the story then. Let's let him say in his own
No,
words.
but there was another one as well.
When you say you can get him on, but he swears a lot, you mean the monkey? I'm assuming he's more coherent than your dad's mate.
But there's him, and there's some other fella he knows who had a funny name. I'll have to find out, because you'll love his name. But he was a drag artist.
Yeah.
And I I think he said my dad went round one day, I don't know why, right? Went around there, knocked on the door, chimpanzeed.
Carl, I don't know what you're doing, mate. I don't know where this place you live, next door there's an horse in the front room. There's chimps running round.
Mad. Anyway,
Chimpanzee!
Is that it? Is that the end of the story? There's a chimpanzee in the door and that's the end?
You sure it wasn't a drag artist before he'd shaved?
no,
Sure it wasn't your gran?
Because I like the really airy ones that decide they can be female impersonators. Yeah, your gran. Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy. The Darkness.
Well, big words.
Growing on Me. XFM 104.9.
Bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais. S. Merchant. K. Pilkington. With a little bit of that. I know for a fact, that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Carl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling.
I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction and he's sort of like, you know.
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request.
Yeah.
And immediately on my back. Whinging, moaning, whining. I don't know if there's any evidence.
Well, it's funny you
sort
say
of
that actually, because in a
support any of my
survey,
complaints.
it came up this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Cardiff only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there or
No,
Bristol?
it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't know if you can take anything from it, but if you were an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
So what can you, just
well, the point
analysing the
is
data there, what would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call in if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why I think maybe, I don't know, Mancunians
I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got
a cold, I think.
Yeah, well, he just said he was, didn't come in for, he left early as well once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey, I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics, so there you
It's
go.
guaranteed evidence that's
So,
proof.
any thoughts on that? Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
I mean, oddly enough, you're from Manchester, Carl.
I am,
What do you think?
yeah,
What are your
funny,
thoughts on that?
on what, sorry?
On the survey.
Oh, wasn't really listening.
Sure.
Well, Mancunians take off more sick days. They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body. They're biologically the same. So,
They're obviously making up their life.
yeah, some of the days. Maybe just the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Seems
Probably.
unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that
So offensive.
is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieve. Now that's not true. That is not true.
Well,
it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're in Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that Mancunians take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel. Brilliant. So, if you're from Manchester, sorry about that. I mean, it is true. We aren't making that up. We weren't doing a stupid stereotype like Kyle did with Liverpudlians. It's just a survey that Mancunians take off more sick days. But they might be genuine. They might be sort of an iller people, or it might just be people who are in Manchester go, oh, I can't be bothered to go to work, it's rubbish. Whereas if you're in London, you go, I can't wait to go to work. What a lovely place this is.
Some great jobs, don't you?
Great jobs, don't they? Jane's Addiction, Just Because on XFM 104.9, broadcasting from London, where people prefer to only be off sick when they actually are ill.
Sure. I don't think I've ever taken a day off sick. Except when I had that terrible tonsillitis.
is that when you went home, stayed with your mum and dad?
Yeah. Why is that a problem? Nurse back to health.
No, I'm not saying it's a
Nurse
problem.
back to health. Yeah, I've got a loving family. So sue me. What do you make of that?
The antagonism and piss taking is just like, oh God, 3 blokes in a pub. There's people listening. I can't go.
Are there?
So what have we got? What have we got? It's 1:20. What have we got? We're on till 3.
Well, we've been talking, we've been doing well, we've been playing some great rock and roll, we've been playing some lovely songs, we've told them, we've explained a survey, just for employees, be careful.
Yeah.
We've, put that out there, we put a shout out there, people know
would you say it was probably safest, if you are an employer, to never employ Mancunians?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far because, you see, that's only an average. So I imagine some Mancunians, like, Londoners, are nice, reliable people. It's probably just a few bad eggs that throw the stats up a little bit. People that would go, I'm not coming in today, I'll put on some wet trousers.
Sure.
All right, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Stay in bed.
Yeah.
You still got them on? Yeah. Well, pop them off.
Yeah.
Put them on the radiator and go to bed with a little duvet. That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, Carl? Right, what's your attitude? Is it because you're tired?
Yeah.
Well, why are you tired, though?
You weren't staying out watching those Channel 5 films again, were you?
Did you ever go on a picnic, Carl? Was there places to go in Manchester, or was it like Quarryland, mostly?
The problem with those adverts, like when I was growing up, they'd sort of give you ideas, because remember the Charlie's one, right? And we were on holiday, right? And I met these 2 lads who are knocking about with, like, mates and that. And that advert came on, and we thought it'd be a good idea to wind his mum up, because this advert had just been on saying, kids are going missing in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So we said, oh, this will be a good laugh. We put the kid in the wardrobe. His mum came back from shopping. We said, oh, he's gone missing. We haven't seen him for hours.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's an appalling.
How old were you?
About 13.
And what was his mum? She must have been.
Yeah, she was going mad, and that's when we thought, oh God, we've gone. Will we say anything? Will we pretend we don't know where he is?
Open the wardrobe, he'd suffocated.
Yeah. That's horrible, Carl.
I know, but
Such
it's
a
just
cruel
what you
thing.
do, isn't it? It's just what you do.
Well, no, you do.
What do you mean? It's just what you do. So what was it? Was he in the wardrobe? Was he listening to this? Why didn't he go, Mum, it's all right, when he heard her crying?
No, she wasn't crying. She was just panicking and screaming a little bit and that.
Screaming a little bit.
Okay, we'll tell her when the screaming starts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then what's the other thing? Like on the same, like all this was going on when I was growing up. And one time we're on holiday, and my mum says, "Right, if you're going on the beach, it's a big beach. But if you're going to go out and play there, I need to know where you are.
So where are these bells? Where this cowbell round your neck?
She gave me a balloon.
Good idea.
A balloon, and it just sort of attached to my arm, so wherever I was playing in the sea and that, you can see the balloon and that.
Brilliant.
But then the problem was, everyone else thought that's a good idea. And it was just like loads of kids with balloons and that.
Oh, I ruined it.
So that didn't work.
Yeah.
Had to bin that idea.
Yeah. This is what we were talking about, actually, weren't we? We were talking about the fact that you're quite proud of the fact that you've got no formal education, really, and yet you've pulled yourself up from the bootstraps.
Yeah. Well, I know people who've got results and that, and don't do anything.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
They're on the street.
So I've used all my energy as I've got older, rather than burning myself out as a kid.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't know if that's advice.
Should we advise that to young kids out there?
Don't take exams, don't work at school, just, move away from Manchester and get a job on XFM.
They'll employ anyone.
Yeah, you get an hour's lunch break, you're away by 5:45.
You need no qualifications to work for XFM.
Because you don't have to think for yourself, because your boss tells you what to do, you can have some time off to go shopping for hobs and shower units.
He's alright, he's a good boss.
Yeah, I know.
He'll let me have next Saturday off. He knows how tired I am.
How many Saturdays has he had off? He's going away again. I mean, he's had 2 holidays. He gets 26 holidays, 6 days a year. 26 days a year. It's unbelievable. He was sick because he put on wet trousers.
Yeah.
And now you're going down to Hastings. Are you leaving early? Because you left early last time, didn't you?
No, I wouldn't do that again.
Now, what are you going to Hastings for?
Just having a break.
What's the verve? Unlucky man. That's for Carl, who is a lucky man. 2 hours every Saturday, yeah? Just a little bit of chat and laughter. Some great records. Alright? What are you going to Hastings for? Just to chill out?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Just chill out.
What specifically is in Hastings that's of interest to you? They having another battle?
Nothing, it's just cheap, isn't it? If you can get a B&B for about 40 quid.
Sure.
The weather's good, so...
Let's all go.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Do you want Ricky to come down with you?
No.
Right, okay.
Anyway...
Hastings
answers
soon.
to Rockbusters.
It's going to Hastings in 10 minutes, isn't you?
Can't wait.
He's looking forward to it. Lovely day. Lovely town. Nice little trip. Chill out, come back refreshed. Monday. Let's do some work. Ooh, you'll sleep tonight.
What does the boss want me to do?
He's done you there, Carl. I was letting it lie, and he comes back with that after we were getting on.
All right.
Off to Hastings.
Off you
See you
go.
later.
Eminem, Business on XFM 104.9.
Carl, can I ask, because after last week's show, when you had your breakdown, you went off to Hastings with your girlfriend, stroke carer, Suzanne. Now, what does she... Because whenever we meet Suzanne, we bumped into Suzanne recently at the BBC, Ricky and I. She's always very nice to us, very polite, we have a nice little chat. But I'm always wondering, what is it that she thinks of us, really? You know, because I'm assuming you immediately go home and whinge.
Say about they tortured me. You saw they tortured me on air.
Now, what does she make of us?
Did she listen to the show last week?
Yeah, she did, yeah. She knew I was annoyed.
Right.
So, she sort of gave me a look like... You know what I mean? Like that, because we went to Hastings.
That wasn't because you had, like, Marmite or something over your face.
No, it was just like, that's good. That's
Last week, after your nervous breakdown, you went to Hastings.
Yeah.
Can I ask, why the hell did you go to Hastings? It's so arbitrary.
What do you mean?
Why go to Hastings?
You lost him on arbitrary. Why did you choose that above all other places within...
It's amazing, isn't it? You look at his face when you say a word that, you know, he doesn't understand, and it just goes dead. It's like when your computer freezes.
Yeah, it is like that, yeah. Is there an equivalent to Control-Alt-Delete when Carl just doesn't understand, so we have to press, like, knob, bollock, finger up arse. It takes him out of his sort of stupid, doesn't it?
Now, that's three things to press, but you've only got two hands, so...
Wow. Yeah, I know. God, what would I do? I'd have, hold on, so I could have the thumb of my right hand, pop that up his arse. I'd have probably my index finger of my left hand on his knob. How would I press his testicles? What would I use? I'd have to use some other part.
Shall we try it?
Yeah, let's go around there.
Let's head out.
Look, come on. What?
Sit
I
down.
just think it's time you have a little kiss.
Sit down.
No, you've been so well.
I've already had a little...
What happened, Carl?
He loves it. I'm just going to give you a little kiss. Just for the webcam.
Right, hurry up then.
All right, on the lips.
No.
Oh, come on. Oh, God. I love it because he hates it so much.
You wouldn't get that radio on.
But it means I could have kissed Chris Moyles.
What?
I could have kissed Chris Moyles on Radio 1.
Milesy. Give Milesy a little kiss for all his good work.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
What happened to Chris Molesy's show? Is he not on anymore?
On TV?
Yeah.
No. Turns out he was too fat and talentless. Do you want to tell us about Hastings?
Where did that come from?
Eh? What?
Yeah, Hastings.
Yeah.
It's alright, yeah.
What's there?
Not much. It's just one of them
Is there
places... Yeah, it's good. I think that's what's good about it. Nobody knows, right? Because last weekend it was roasting and you saw pictures of Brighton and it was heaving, right? Hastings, hardly anyone there. And yeah, it's got a nice little beach.
Yeah. Sand? Sandy
No,
beach?
pebbles. Well, that's alright, isn't it? You don't want the sand.
Why do you want sand? Of course you want
Just a
sand.
little bit, don't it?
It's murder building a sandcastle.
No, you just sit there.
You can't walk on pebbles, can you? It's, you know, well, it's all kind of, it's sort of a bit, you know, dodgy underfoot.
It's alright. The only annoying thing is, right, it's one of them places that it's great to visit for a day.
Yeah.
But I wonder how people who live there get by.
Why?
Because all the shops are like them things that you go in and it's like a little pebble with a pebble stuck on the top and it says Hastings on it. So every shop does that. If you want bread and milk,
You're done for.
it's murder.
Yeah.
There must be a supermarket.
I didn't see any. Seriously, it's all novelty things like that.
Yeah.
And then when I got back into London...
Their houses.
Yeah.
Just covered in pebbles and, like, seashells and stuff.
Oh, not rock for tea again.
But the funny thing is, right, it's the first time I sort of noticed somewhere like that when you go, what do you do if you just want some Brillo pads or whatever? With the slang thing, did I tell you I was trying to read that book about the governor?
Oh, yes.
And that was full of that, and it had a page on the front that you had to keep going to when, you know what I mean, when he used a bit of slang, you had to sort of go, right, I don't know what he means.
Glossary.
Right. Just nip back, have a look.
I thought you meant, when you said there's a page at the front, I thought you meant the cover with his face on. I can't remember who I'm reading about. Oh, there he is.
Is this the book that you nearly finished reading, but you realised all the pages were in the wrong order?
No.
He bought a cheap book, right, at a second shop, started reading it, loving it, then he started reading about this bloke, and he went from jail to school, and then he looked at the page numbers and they were all out of order.
How annoying is that?
You never read books, do you?
I never read one, right? And Suzanne, it was a weekend when we were going to Hastings because you two had done me head in, right? She said, I'm going to take you away so you relax and what have you. So, ended up not relaxing because it was like putting a jigsaw together. I'd started reading it on the train, thinking, loving this. It's a really interesting story about this fella who, you know, didn't have a great life as a kid, starts getting into a bit of crime, what have you, turns out to be the governor. But it wasn't as easy as that, because like you say, it started off at school, then he was in prison, and he's like, oh God, he started young. And then, next thing, he's like married, and he's like, hang on. He's like 12, and then he's had a heart attack, and then but I just thought it was part of the thing because I read chapter 1, and then it did say chapter 12, but I thought, right, it's like that sort of done in that stylish way that everyone's doing.
What kind of a biography?
Look at that, it went
Starts
there.
messing with the medium.
I was born in the East End. Take one onion, add some, this is
But it's the idea that an East End villain's going to write his autobiography, but think, yeah, I'm just going to play with the form a bit. I'm going to get quite postmodern with this.
No, but you know
He's
what I mean?
barely able to write, probably.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they
you
did it
can
with-
say that about him, Steve. I wouldn't. I think he's an educated man. Go on, next, Carl.
But yeah, just because it was like 2 for a tenner, that shouldn't be like, oh well, you know, you got a good offer. So
No, that's rare. I'm
yeah.
sure the bloke selling it did not know that the page was out of order. Let's face it, Carl. You read it and didn't realise.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame him.
You got almost half the way through before you realised.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know.
Still, that'll teach you, and that's put you off books for life, hasn't it?
Well, I don't like getting into books now. I just read snippets of information.
Play record. Play record.
No, I was just going to tell you about a bit of information that I was reading, and
Okay.
I can't. Will we play a
No,
record?
I've got time for a bit of drivel before we play next tune.
Well, I'd rather hear a tune and come back for drivel, because I think people are tuning in for drivel, so let's tease them.
Okay.
Let's have a record, then some absolute shite from Karl Pilkington.
Excellent. Look forward to that.
Roll Over DJ by Jet on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. All right, Karl?
Yeah.
Bit miserable today, Karl. Let me explain why.
Go on.
Steve, and to you, the listeners. Well, we came in to a big bunch of stuff, dropped off by, who was it, Becky from Marks and Spencer, just like lovely stuff, food, presents for the cat, books, just, you know, to Ricky and Steve who do the show, right? Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant,
GQ presenters of the year.
creators of The Office, right?
Award winning.
Carl's looking over, I go, well, maybe, it's not for you, no. And then he told me why he's grumpy anyway.
Go on.
Do you know what XFM are giving everyone? How long have you been here?
About 6 years.
What are you getting for Christmas from XFM?
2 CDs.
Is that of your choice, or do they choose them?
There's a list of about 30.
Right.
Tell him what
List of
you
about
chose.
30 CDs. I've gone for Kings of Leon album
Yeah.
and the Best of Bob Marley.
Haven't we, like, given them away in the past or something? Or you could have burnt them off, couldn't you? You could have done copies. Illegal, but you could have done that. Anytime you wanted.
I don't think Bob Marley minds if you
No.
bootleg his CDs.
It's out of order though, isn't it?
It is bad.
Although you
Is
do
that
get,
always the case? Has it always been the truth of all the time you've been here?
No, it has been better than this.
yeah, although you do get paid quite well, and you do have an easier time.
Yeah, but don't give me the CDs then. If it was a milkman, you don't go, oh, have 2 bottles of semi-skimmed. Happy Christmas.
Yeah. That is a valid point.
Do you know what I mean?
You complained? Who is it who made this decision? Is
There's
it-
no point. No point, is there?
Why?
Just no point. I don't like moaning anyway, just...
Has it come from up top? Is it like from the capital people?
Just everyone. That's what everyone gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will Christian get 2 CDs for getting up at 4:30 every day for about 5 years?
And keeping this station afloat.
Probably.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a bit fed up.
What do you listen to first, Marley or Leon?
Well, you have a bit of Marley.
I'll tell you what Marley's good for as well. You're going to have a little beach holiday, aren't you, over Christmas, going to Lanzarote? Listening to that on the beach, you'll realise how wise XFM are in the long run. You know, you go, well, look, they could have given me 400 quid, right? Well, I'd have spent that. But this is, you know, the legend
It's
lives
the gift
on.
that keeps on giving.
So you're probably, you know what I mean? Think how much what you got to think of is how much all these great songs took, not only from the depth of his soul and, you know, all his sort of angst and knowledge and love, and then all the studio time, the marketing, and they're just giving you one that. They go, don't worry about that, Carl, just have it. And you go, what? But all the time we spent with Bob Marley and everything. You know, have it, Carl, have it, Carl. And
Gratis.
Yeah, have that. Thanks, well done. Carry on. We're still going to pay you for the work.
Yeah.
That's just something on top.
Here's a little piece of bob, free.
Yeah, so don't moan, it's extra. So, they didn't have to give you it at all. Play a record, you ungrateful little swine.
Some people, like the homeless, aren't getting anything this Christmas.
This is my
Except to
favourite
chill.
Elvis Costello track of all time. It's Alison.
This wasn't on the list. Right.